of a young gentleman that will be running in constituency 18, Pembroke West Central. Now, my reason for being here is because this young man is full of integrity, knowledge, and wisdom, and he felt upon himself as a past student of mine to come by and visit me and ask if I will support him in what he's doing in this political realm. And I said yes to him. And he's not the only one. There are four others, but he's the one, as you know, in biblical terms, is always one that comes back to say thanks. So I'm saying thank you to him. I'm very proud that he has decided to do this. I also want to let him know that when I ran in 1993 in Pembroke West Central, I did not win. But in 1998, I did win under the dual seating. But then in 2003, we topped the polls in the one seat voting. So the candidate is none other than who will be running in Pembroke West Central 18 is Omar Dill, a past student of mine. We spent so much time together in the after-school program, and I'm very proud of what he has chosen to do. We must always give our young people an opportunity to serve. I was given that opportunity, and I am happy, and I am very honored that he thought to think of me after my 20 years of politics, that this young man said, well, let me go. They know me as Aunt Honey, so he came to see his Aunt Honey. All the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aunt Honey. Really appreciate it. Greetings, Bermuda. Greetings, members of the media, supporters in attendance. I am Omar Dill, and I'm standing here before you, not just as a candidate for constituency 18, but as a Bermudian who refuses to accept the status quo. I've worked as a firefighter, attending emergencies island-wide, specializing in aircraft rescue. As an air traffic controller, I have landed thousands of aircraft at Bermuda's International Airport. These roles taught me the importance of trust, integrity, and decisive action. Qualities that I now bring to this campaign. As a father, my son is one of my greatest motivations. But it's bigger than just him. It's about all of our children. Ensuring that the decisions we make today give them the opportunities that they deserve tomorrow. And if I may, it's also about the women of Bermuda, our grandmothers, our aunties, our mothers who understand more than anyone the cost of broken promises and failed leadership. And for years, we've been promised change. We've been promised fairness and progress. But here we are, watching those promises turn into excuses, feeling the neglect and the failures of those promises. Look at the pollution from Belco. Your premier has stood by while your health and the climate have been sacrificed. Where's the urgency to address these pressing issues? What could be more important than the air we breathe and the water we drink? The people of constituency 18 and all of Bermuda deserve more than smoke and mirrors. Housing is out of reach for most people. Even people who are making six figures can't really afford to survive. And let me be clear. The people in power are not just making excuses. They're making money. We've got MPs who earn the cranes building these luxury properties in Hamilton. We also have the CEO of a power company doing all of the polluting in our neighborhoods. A major shareholder of the taxi app that the drivers are fighting for, correction, fighting against, this is not just fair governance, it's exploitation. The truth is, we deserve better. And voting out this almost rogue leader of the PLP, it's not just the best thing for Bermuda, it's also the best thing for the PLP. Remember, a fish rots from the head down. It's time to cut out that rot. Bermuda cannot continue like this. And, you know, the Premier has definitely spent more time knocking on doors than I have. But the murders, the corruption within the police force, it's proof that, as he says, there is much more work to be done. In the FDM, we've been trying to put in that work to address these issues and prepare plans to deliver the results the people deserve. I want to say this election is really about rejecting the excuses, standing up. Our strength as a people is in that, our ability to stand up and demand better. For those who haven't yet, please, I said it wrong the other day, but fdmbda.com, check out our policies. We talk about Belco, the economy, housing, education, and so much more. So it's really all about just managing the money properly, responsibly, protecting the environment, empowering our people, not making them dependent. Yeah. And for the record, we do support Belco. We support their plans for liquefied natural gas, right? It's going to lower the pollution. It's also going to lower our Belco bills. We also have the cost of living. It's been said that overseas inflation is the cause of that. Government taxes is a big driver of our cost of living. Government's collecting 75% duty in some cases. We're trying to cut that down to 15%. So we also have housing. The government has been saying that they've given, I think, 70 affordable units they've dispersed around the island. I haven't seen 70 apartments go on the market. The truth is they're just renovating them, painting them up, right? We also heard the Premier talk about him cutting duty on building supplies. Well, that came from the FDM's policy released in November, directly from there. If he would have took action in November, instead of waiting to call an election and make promises, where would we be today? In a much better place. So as he knocks on your doors in C18, tell him, look you in the eyes and ask him, what's up with the unaffordable housing? What's going on with the crime? Why is the pollution still a problem, right? People of constituency 18 have a very interesting choice because they have the power to make a point, to make a statement. Voting for myself, Omar Dill, is not just voting against the status quo. It's voting for a better Bermuda. It's voting to change Bermuda. So I'm here, not just as a candidate for C18, but as a resident of Bermuda. I've written to the governor to demand some of the changes that I believe we need. And growing up, in the Mount Hill area, my family homestead, Mount View Road to be exact, I'm invested in the community. I'm invested in seeing the best for the area. And I think we're just at a time where the time for excuses is finished, and I want to see some results. So thank you for entertaining me. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the Honorable Dr. Nalita Butterfield on Honey, and I'll take questions.
Why constituency 18?
As I
Why
met,
at this time?
so as I mentioned, that is a family homestead. Mount View Road, to be exact, is where my family is from.
And why did you decide to get involved for this election? Why at this time?
Well, I've been on the scene for a good bit of months, but as has been said in prior press conferences by other candidates, we all live here, and we all see what's going on. We all see the problems. We all heard the promises. And after a while, we have to start asking ourselves, are we doing the same thing and expecting a different result?
How has the reception been from constituents so far, and what is your message to them?
It's been mixed, I'll be honest. It's been mixed. Some people are entrenched in what they believe in. And my message to them is to look at the results. Look what we have. I mentioned Sessions House the other day. This is a perfect example of infrastructure that is not being taken care of. And there are many examples of that around the island.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, morning, rather,
Great.
sorry. Just on the edge of it. Mr. Dell, Gary Foster Skelton for Bermuda Broadcasting. So you, in your comments there, talked about broken promises and failed leadership and called Premier David Burt a rogue leader and
Almost
that he's
rogue leader.
bad for the PLP.
Yes.
So can you expand on that?
So as I mentioned in speaking to constituents, it's been mixed because many people put their faith in him as the leader. But as we can see, or what as many others can see, or many others say, is that they're not satisfied, right? The need for persons who make six figures to qualify for financial assistance, or the child care benefit, what I should say, that's a problem, right? The need that we have.
You're saying there's
seniors
people who are earning six-figure salaries that are
qualified for the child care benefit. Yes, that was stated by the Premier himself in one of his press conferences over the last couple of weeks. So these are issues. If persons in that tax bracket require a child care benefit, that speaks to the state of the country, that it's not quite sustainable. Financial assistance data, again, another example. There is talk that our seniors are receiving these increases year over year, but I believe the amount of seniors on FA doubled over the last year, right? That says that we have a big problem, and these little breadcrumbs that are being thrown to the people, to me, they're not good enough. And from what I can see, they're not good enough. I wouldn't get into some of the stories that people are telling about some of the things that they're doing to survive, but Bermuda is not in a good place. And I mentioned the cranes, as you can see, and that looks good. That building is doing great. But in the area that I'm running in, we don't have that. And the people who earn that are the people who have the power to change the areas that I'm running in, C18 in particular.
Okay, and you just talked about our economy not doing well. Just tell us, if the FDM took some power in the House, what would be the first things you would do within the first 100 days?
So what I will say is we do have policies on our website, but I will expand on it for you. So we do have policies on our website, and some of the most pressing issues are to do with the economy, are to do with housing. As I mentioned, David Burt has took some of these policies and put them into his election campaign. If I had to tell you three things that we would do within our first 100 days, I would say that it would have to do with housing. Legislation, again, I can't quite quote it offhand.
No, but give us the general gist of what you would do.
Yeah, so we want to take some of these government buildings and convert them into residential units. I believe there was a press conference yesterday, again, about seniors daycare. Seniors
Going at Gilbert Institute.
Yes, so people need places to actually live. Having somewhere to go throughout the day is fine, but we have approximately 40 derelict or vacant government buildings. Those should be put to good use. So that would be something that we would look to do within the first 100 days, I would believe. And again, right on the website, there is a list of things that it clearly states within the first year we would seek to do.
Okay. And what about immigration? What's the FDM's policy on immigration?
I have spoken on immigration in the past, and what I would reiterate to say is our first priority needs to bring the people who've left back home. I think the estimates are upwards of 5,000 people. So to say that we need more people on this island, but people are leaving every day, and the reason being is because of the economy, is because of the crime, is because of the issues that you and I have to contend with. Others are choosing to pack up and leave. So I believe from an FDM point of view, an immigration policy first needs to deal with the people, the persons who are leaving in the first place. And I think we have a pretty good idea of why they're leaving.
Okay. And finally, obviously, this election we're looking at, so far we know that we're having 88 candidates. And if the PLP and the OBA do roll out 36 candidates, that number goes up to 94. how many more candidates will the FDM be rolling out?
We will have a press conference tomorrow, and we're going to roll out another batch of candidates. And
Batch?
Another batch. Yep, another batch of candidates. And on nomination day, you will see the full numbers for everybody. As you stated, no party has yet to roll out 36 candidates. I want to make that clear.
Are you going to roll out
And
36?
on nomination day, you will all be able to lay the pieces on the board to see where everything falls.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
So there.